Yo, 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 what's up? What's up? Bennie Hertz is back with 101.1 The Culture. We've been really going live a little bit today, man. I guess I've been out of the office a little bit, so I wanted to make sure that I can come back strong. People say, "Oh, we miss you when you're gone." Y'all doing all right today?
Doing good.
Doing good, doing good.
So today we talking about the bag, right? Bag talk.
Yes. Cash conversations.
I like that cash conversation. So what I'm gonna do is start with some quick introductions. I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves. I'll start with you, and we'll go down and tell us, of course, who you are. You can tell them where you're from. You know, represent your side, and tell them just the elevator pitch about what you do.
Okay, so we're gonna let Cam go.
Let Cam go first. Okay,
let Cam go first.
All right, Cam, run it.
All right, so yeah, I'm Cam McCurdy, broker, financial distribution. We here today to talk about bag talk, cash conversations. We here to bring this to the community, to basically answer all the questions you might have, to be that go-to people that you can always reach out to and get these answers you've been looking for. We here with plans, and we're here to provide solutions.
Yes, yes. I'm Nickiesha McCurdy. If you can't tell, husband and wife. So we run this financial business together as a team. And just like Cam said, just to provide solutions for the community. Too long we've been behind the starting line as a community simply because we lack the education or just the know-how, how to get ahead. So we just want to put the community on game.
We from Birmingham. I'm from the east side of Birmingham.
East side?
But we everywhere.
Exactly.
Everywhere. We currently at the Crescent Center, on 101 The Culture Radio. So it's all about awareness and expanding. It's the year of continued expansion.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Latonys Stearns. I'm the owner of LWS Consulting Firm and LWS Professional Tax Services. Right now, even though tax season over, I work 365 days a year.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do. I do a lot. I do bookkeeping. Right now I'm doing bookkeeping for small businesses. And then I have a business consulting firm also. So if you're trying to get in business, don't know what to do, don't know how to do it, just call me at 205-895-2750 and let me help you out.
Did you say 895-2750?
Exactly.
Call Miss Latanya.
Exactly.
You know she's a hero.
Exactly.
So, if I do a little financial stuff myself, I used to coach people on business credit. I think Latanya knows that. Cam may be aware that I used to do business credit clinics and talking to people about how to get their finances correct on the business scale, on the business side, as far as starting a business, registering it properly, making sure you have key components in place so that you can properly set yourself up for funding. But that's just one piece of the pie.
Exactly.
Just one piece of the pie. So Cam, tell us a little bit about when you have a client, what is one of the most common things that you hear that you're able to redirect someone on the right path?
One of the most common things I hear to redirect them on the right path, Benny.
Yes, sir.
I would say a lot of misinformation.
Okay.
And so they don't know what to actually do or where to actually start. And so they never start. And I would say that'd be the most average thing that I hear all the time.
You say they never start.
Because they don't know where to start. And so they don't have a point, they don't have a plan put together. And it's always, let's say, products thrown at them, like I said, instead of an actual solution and a plan.
Okay. So do you think the main thing first is to sit down with someone like yourself or Latanya and get an overview of where they are?
You're exactly right. So what we do is called a financial needs analysis.
Okay.
So think of it like this, Benny. You're gonna ride from here to LA, right?
Right.
I know you'll probably fly, but if you're gonna drive,
I've driven.
Yeah, you drive, you're gonna use your GPS, right?
Correct.
What are some reasons you'll use your GPS?
Because I need to know where to go, the direction, what if I need to pivot or change course a little bit because of something that I'm navigating that I run into places for pit stops, where to
Exactly.
eat, those
Mhm.
type of things.
So it's giving you the map, basically.
Exactly.
Giving you the map. And that's what a financial needs analysis is. It's a map. It's providing you a game plan from where you are financially today to where you want to be in the future.
Okay.
One thing we always tell people, retirement is not an age, it's monetary. It's about money.
Yes.
And that's why we're here to do the event bag talk and cash conversations. We want to see who want to retire early. We want to see if you do when you do retire, do you have enough money to retire and continue to live your life without having to have to go back to work again?
Yes.
That's kind of deep, right? Because I've always said in this political landscape that we've been in over the last, decade at least, right?
Mhm.
I say, you know what? I'm not, and I don't want y'all to think I'm not supportive of having the right people in place in our political atmosphere. However, I say, you know what? Get you some money so that when things change, they don't impact you as much because you're able to navigate those situations because you have the right properties or the right financial planning, you have the right savings, you have a way to earn income in any financial or political climate.
It sounds real good. And that's exactly what we're bringing to the table. And again, people don't know about this stuff. We have your social media.
Yes.
You have banks. A lot of misinformation come from these places who are somewhere in a middleman to really not have your best interests at heart, but to just slang you a product.
So what's different about what you do?
We eliminate the middleman.
Okay.
We take you straight to the source. So instead of you using a certain product to gain savings account for, no, you go straight to the source and do that. Do that separately. And we teach people how that benefits them more. It's called how money works.
Okay.
How money works. And it's a way to make your money work for you. To avoid things like losing buying power. Buying power. Three things that affect our money, right? Inflation,
Correct.
taxation,
Yes, sir.
and then you got market fluctuation.
Okay.
That's gonna be like that all the time. So you have to have ways to implement plans to, like you just said, to get around that, and no matter what climate.
And so, Latanya, I know you do a lot of consulting as well. I know you and I have sat down and we've talked about different
Yes.
things, whether it's personal or
Mhm.
business,
Mhm.
when it comes to finances.
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit about the common themes that you see when people come to you, because I think when we're talking to everybody out there in the world, right,
Mhm.
people want to be able to relate to the things that you guys do, because most people get
Mhm.
intimidated when they talk about, oh, I need to talk to a financial planner. What's wrong with my finances? People are intimidated, especially when they may not have everything together. So, like you said before, Cam, they don't make a decision. They hear all this information, and when you say, "Hey, come sit down with me, let's talk," and they're like,
But they don't know where to.
exactly."
Mhm. Basically, my main thing is business and personal
Okay.
taxes.
Okay.
That's my main thing, and then helping with their business. Like I get them started, but of course, what me and you was doing together. Like I would get them started with their business, then I send them over to you.
Right.
I'd be like, okay, now this is the money man right here. But it's like when people want to start, or now I'm going to send them to Cam. Be like, hey, listen, we can start this business, but when it start coming out to your money, you need to, you need to get with Cam about the financial stuff.
Okay.
Because you want to be able to save. You don't want to just be having a business or whatever, and then it's not going nowhere, and your money's not going nowhere. Your money's not working for you.
And can I pitch in on that part?
Please.
When you said, people don't get started because either they don't have the information, or there's just so much information out there, they're frozen because it's like, well, which direction do I take? Think about it like a nurse. You want to
Okay.
do nursing, you have no idea about nursing, you go to school, right?
Correct.
You get the education, you get the teaching, and then you step off into it. So it's the same thing. You're feeling like you don't have everything together. You're going to go to the source to get the information. Okay, look, I'm lost. I don't know what's going on. Let's sit down, get to the drawing board. Like, okay, here's where I am and here's where I want to go. Just like Cam said with the GPS, right?
I agree with you.
Yeah. So
And it's funny that you say that, because just in case anybody knows, I'm going to be going live 7:30 Central. I'm talking about sync licensing, which is a part of the music business, right? And I think all of us that are sitting here right now, you just talked about having a roadmap. Everybody's talked about having a roadmap, knowing where to start and who to send somebody to next up the line that will assist them with their next thing, right? So for me, it just makes so much sense because I know when I got involved, whether it was music or the sync licensing or the credit, most of these things, I took a course. I took a course in sync licensing and music. I kind of jumped in, but I read a lot of books, right? And then I started going to conferences to meet people and try to get an understanding of a landscape that I have never traveled before.
Skill up.
Right.
So in order to level up my skill set and to level up my network of people, right?
Yeah.
And so I know Latanya and I are both taking classes on different things. So I guess my next question is, and I'll start with you, Latanya. This time we'll come back this way. What inspired you to get started? I know you're a serial entrepreneur.
Yes, I
but
have.
what inspired you to get started, and how did you take that first step?
Well, back when COVID started, you know what I'm saying, when, you know, everything was going on with COVID shut down everything. And then it was like, you know, people were losing their jobs, people were getting laid off. It's like, you know, you have no way of making money. And so, you know, I had just adopted a baby. And so I was like, okay, well, you know what? You know, I have to put my thinking cap on. You know, what is it? Something that I love to do? Shopping.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, you know what? All the stores are closed. So let me see how I can work this and make it work for me.
Okay.
So at that point, I started Pretty Plus Things Boutique.
Okay.
And believe it or not, I started in my house. Stores was closed, right? So I let everybody that knew me, they can come to my house and shop. I had a whole store inside my house.
Wow.
I was making like $1,000 a week out of my house. You know what I mean? And so I was just like, well, wow, you know, and then it was like, I would go to people and I'll ask, you know what I'm saying, people who I knew that had businesses before me, and I would go and ask for help. And, you know, I'd be like, you know, listen, can you help me with this? And they'd be like, no, you got to get it out of the mud like I did. You know, and I'm like, oh my God. So at that point, I started, you know, I was making big mistakes, you know, because it was like, you know, lessons.
Learning curve.
Exactly. You know, and so with me doing that, and my business just became successful. And so I was just like, well, you know what? And I already was doing taxes, you know, but I was doing, you know, everybody's taxes, you know, and so I was just like, well, you know what? I really love doing taxes. I really love selling clothes. So I started, you know, do it both. But, and I noticed that you know, when people would start coming to me and asking me for help and how did I do this? And I'm like, you know, I'm not going to treat people like I was treated.
No gatekeeping.
I'm not going to gatekeep nothing. Listen, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you. And when I started helping a lot of people, I'm like, you know what? I think I get paid for this because, you know, I'm like helping a lot of people, like, you know, and not just, and I don't, because everybody else I noticed that everybody else, they were having to come to me after they done went to, what is that thing, Rocket?
You said Rocket Money?
No, Rocket Lawyer, something like that. And it was going on the internet and getting their licenses, their their LLCs, and then they're not knowing that they own those LLCs, not you, but they do. And I'm like, y'all do know this is not your LLC because it's like it's exclusive. So it's like this belongs to them, not you. So I had to educate a lot of my people on that and reel them back in and get everything worked out and fixed for them. But I was happy, you know, and I'm happy. It's a passion of mine to help others. You know. It's just a passion. And so I was just like, I'm not going to tell nobody, hey, I'm going to let you get it out the mud. Like, no, I'm going to help you. Whatever I can do, I'm going to help you. If you don't have that much money, you don't have no money, I'm going to help you still. I do have to pay. So it's like, it's no, you know,
right.
There's no excuse. You can break it up into 4 payments. So it's no excuse. So I tell everybody, do not let money stop you from your dreams.
Ooh,
I know that's right.
Yeah.
So can y'all tell me a little bit about how y'all got started? Because Cam, I know you and I have had conversations, and I think I was deep into something else, so I couldn't commit to what you were doing. You were trying to educate me and to get me kind of knowing exactly about what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we never really got a chance to go deeper. So tell me kind of how you got started and why you do what you do.
I'm gonna introduce it and I'm gonna let Cam wrap it up. So
Okay.
Actually how we got inspired to start was we were where a lot of people are, just going day by day. We don't have a set plan. And we got sat down by a financial advisor.
Okay.
And he was like pointing the things out A, B, and C. And we were like, okay, we can actually make this work. And so not just helping us, but he turned around and said, y'all can get licensed too and help other families. Now that you've been through the ringer, you can help other people that were like you, that we wanted to get a plan, but just didn't know, hey, how to do it. Where do we start? And so just from him helping us and showing us the way that, hey, go get your state license. And then just by teaching other families to do the simple things that you've done, now you done started a business. So that's our
So what kind of
ministry.
licensing before you go? What kind of licensing did you have to get?
So it's a state license. The very first one, it is life insurance. It
Okay.
comes from the state of Alabama, so you own it, right? It's not tied to the company that we broker through. And then the rest of them come from the federal government. Their securities license.
Okay.
Yeah.
For investments.
Yeah.
A lot of people think of security like sitting at a door with the little pistol. No, the securities is your investments.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But so coming from, like the music world, and to be honest with you, be the real spill. So coming up, been in the hustling world.
Yes.
So I ain't really getting held down a real career or a job till I was like 30, about 35, 36. And I started looking at that and I'm like, okay, I'm getting older. So all my 20s, I lived a movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Music and traveling on the road, just doing whatever I want to do. Never had a plan to look forward. And then so I got kids and I started looking at them. I'm like 36. And I'm like, man, in X amount of years, 25 years, I'm gonna be 60. I gotta figure something out because the previous 25 went by fast.
Ooh.
And so, like she said, we got introduced to the opportunity to look into our own stuff, and did that. And I see an overwhelming big need for this. And I was okay, we can fill this void right here, fill this gap. You know what I'm saying? And bridge this gap. And let's go out here and help people. And I started reflecting on myself and people I know. I got several cousins and just my market. I'm 43 years old, so the people I'm around need to hear this ASAP.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. One of the things you just said hit home with me because I used to preach this to my son. Because when he was in high school, then he ended up going to college. And when he was in college, I had to tell him, I said, those last 4 years in high school go by like a blur. I said, when you're in it, you don't realize how fast time is. I said, next thing you do, you look up and you're 25, 30 years old. And you really haven't started anything concrete. And men, we're slow. I'm just gonna tell y'all, men, we're slow. We're logical thinkers, but we are impacted, especially people of color. Because I come from a family that worked real hard. My dad worked real hard, had a respectable, decent job. He worked in the coal mines, and he ended up before he passed, he worked at City Hall in Bessemer. And I look at my mom, retired from Social Security Administration.
Okay.
And they made good money, but they weren't great financial planners as far as ownership, business, knowing where to put your money. I mean, when my dad passed, he had money hidden in his house. You know what I mean? I mean, cash money, and we not no 200,000-300,000, but maybe 30-40 grand. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tucked away somewhere, and it's just sitting there, and it could have been gaining interest or something like that. Back in the day, old folks, I don't trust no banks. We're young folks. Nowadays you have to deal with a banking system.
Yeah, I don't deal with nobody that ain't got no bank account.
Yeah,
that showed me a level of responsibility too.
Hmm.
You ain't got no bank account. What?
Can't do business.
Can't do business with you. Now I help you get a bank account. We can Google and see who got free accounts. We can set what you want set up today. I'm gonna walk with you on this path. You ain't gonna leave you blank, but we gotta get that bank account set up.
Wow.
But what you just said, Bennie, about your dad having money at home somewhere, I just wanted to touch on that. So a lot of people don't know there are investments accounts out here for tailored to specifically the middle class.
Mhm.
So especially families that feel like I don't make enough money, so I can't invest or I can't start. There are accounts that you can open for $25.
Correct.
Everybody has $25 to start
And I'm
investing.
gonna say this: $25 is $5.25 a week. So that
Can you
means
tell
just
he's a
don't get
hustler?
a number one at Burger King one time during that week. Number one at Burger King about $9-10.
Especially if you go large.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So that's not getting a 2 Red Bulls or not getting that one
Mhm.
Starbucks just one time that week can
Mhm.
change your future,
Yeah.
financially.
People don't look at it. They, I love having conversations like this because I'm a person that I used to study money.
Yeah.
Where does money come from? What is money really used for?
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
And people don't like to have that conversation. They just think it's buying and selling, but really money was used for an asset and
Yeah.
used as tools for trading and growth.
Like
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
like what it's supposed to do now, but we don't do it. Use it for that,
Yep.
So I guess my next question, as we're talking about all this, walk me down the path. If I come into you and I said, hey, so I need someone to look at my finances because I want to save for my future,
Mhm.
and you say you do a needs analysis. So what does that entail?
It entails your debt, your income, your mortgage, and any education that's out there. You
Okay.
know, what I mean by education, you got kids in school. That's a factor of debt.
Yes.
You need to factor in that as far as losing that as well. It's real, but unfortunately, event you lose a child and they're in college and you done put 60,000-80,000 into their tuition already. How would you recoup?
Yeah.
You doing it for the education purpose for them to get their diploma, go out and get a good job. But if something was to happen to that child, that 60,000-80,000, however much you put in tuition is gone.
I don't even think of it like that, but it's almost
Yeah.
like you just pour money down the drain
Down
Yeah.
the drain.
without recouping.
And if you want to get biblical with it, so Proverbs 13 says, a good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children. Not just the children.
But it's children's children.
Children's children. Yeah. So,
See, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Mhm.
And maybe that's why I don't want to say I do what I do for the money.
Yeah.
I do things for the influence
Mhm.
that money can provide.
Exactly.
Everybody, they want to floss with the rings and the necklaces and all that.
Yeah.
To me, even those are supposed to be tools.
Yeah.
If you're in a certain business, the reason why you wear a necklace is because it attracts attention.
Yeah.
It's I like to say it's part of the uniform, right?
Uniform.
Yeah.
It's part of the uniform.
uniform.
Because you're trying to attract people to say, oh, he's or she's
Yeah.
she got that custom chain. Oh, she looking hot. Ooh, ooh. So
Right.
now it's an attention grabber. And once people focus on you, how do you take that focus and attention and turn them into a fan or an advocate or
Right.
someone that's willing to spend money with you now or later down the road as you build that relationship? With finances, what would be a sound investment right now?
I mean, a sound investment. I mean, like an actual company.
Well, not necessarily a company. What would be the first thing that you would tell someone? I know you're talking about savings, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you guys are talking about insurance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So at 53 years old, the only insurance policy I've ever had is through my job, through my work, where they offer you death and accidental and all that other type of stuff that you
Gotcha.
pay into, right?
I got you.
So I've never really sat down with someone to get an insurance policy.
Yeah.
All right. So what we do is we educate people on the importance, like I said earlier, eliminate the middleman. So we're gonna definitely let you know and educate you about why it's not a good decision. If you knew, you'll know that it's not a good decision to use insurance as an investment product.
Okay.
So we separate those things. So now you took the middleman out who would have took a chunk of your interest, right? And you going straight to the source, getting your high yield savings accounts or whatever you need to do, mutual funds. But in that point in time, though, get you an insurance product that's more affordable and
Okay.
can give you more coverage. Because another thing is people go out here and use those investment insurance products and they paying their money, and you come find out their coverages, they underinsured. We hearing 15,000. We hearing 20,000.
Mhm.
You got 3 kids. You still got mortgage on the house. What that's gonna do, Benny?
Yeah.
Nothing.
20,000.
Nothing.
Even if you was to get a cash value on that, most of the time when the cash value does mature, meaning it'll reach the amount that's in that policy,
Mm-hmm.
it's well over in your hundreds. I've seen 108. I've seen 121. You be dead and gone.
Yeah.
See, we need to have a sit down.
Yeah.
I feel like as much as I talk about money,
Yeah.
there's some things I need to get in order because I'll be 53 this year.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and as you get older, you start to think about because I remember what happened when my dad passed in the burial. I remember what happened when my mom passed, and really there wasn't anything there to pass on, and not that I needed anything. But I don't want to be, when I pass, I want my son to be able to have something. I want to be able to make sure that my grandkids are straight.
We gotta break them chains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My great grandma went through the same situation. Ever since 1950s, paying on her insurance policy, and back then, racism and all that other type of stuff. So we
Mhm.
couldn't get the same insurance policies as our counterparts. So they'll sell us one with a savings account hooked on to it, and it also costs more, right?
Hmm.
So from 1950s all the way to 2006 when she died, she was left with just $200 in that policy, and it's
Wow.
supposed to be building savings. It's level so that everybody think, oh, it don't change, the price stay the same, but you don't know it's a cost of insurance that matters. So as the insurance costs go up, they use your cash value savings to offset what they told you was level.
Wow.
So they just sapping you as you go through the whole
Mhm.
thing, and then you buying 2 products, but you only get one.
Yeah. That's like going to the store. You love to shop. You go to the store and buy you a nice pair of heels, and you go home.
Mhm.
It's just one foot in the box. You're gonna be mad.
Mhm.
Wow.
You know,
That's the best way I explain those cash policies. It's like going to the store and buying you something you're supposed to have 2 feet, and you go home and it's one.
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
misinformation. You have to
Yeah.
have somebody that has your best interest at heart. For the products we offer, the money ain't like it would be in those other products. You see what I'm saying? So we doing this for the love and getting it out to the community and let you know. That's why we having the event on July 24th at the Cultural Crescent Center at 6:00 to bring some of this to the table, answer questions, be those people you can call because you don't want to call 1-800 and then you pressing 1 for English and y'all you want to be able to call Cam, call
Yeah.
Nickiesha,
Yeah.
and go ahead and get this knocked out.
Yes.
See, back
Yeah.
in the day
Yes.
when our folk coming up, the insurance man came by the house.
I remember that when I was a
Even though he
kid.
was selling a trash product, and that's
The
all our
door-to-door
folks knew.
insurance salesman.
Right, that's all
Yeah.
our folks knew. But at the same time, it was intimate because they was able to talk to these people.
Yeah.
And now people got 1-800 numbers. They don't see nobody. You got stuff on YouTube. Now you just trying to catch the first person you see with that product till you get screwed. Now you
Yeah.
scared to fool somebody else again because you got skint before. So
Yeah.
we just trying to basically kill all of that and bring it to the table like we the people to talk to.
Yeah.
I think that's dope. I really think that's dope. And when I think about Latanya
Mhm.
getting people started,
Yeah.
what is the biggest challenge that you've had to overcome with people getting started? What is the biggest challenge that you see when people come to you?
Basically, they talk about money. Basically,
Talk about money.
yes. They don't. They can't afford this. They can't afford that.
Yeah.
They can't afford it. They can't afford to get started. They have a dream. They have a goal, but their thing is, oh, I don't have the money. I don't have the money to start this. I don't have the money to start that. So that's the biggest thing.
And why you got that up? I say, how long you been in your job? And they say 7 years, 10 years, 15 years. So you telling me you've been at your job 7 years, 10 years, 15 years, and you don't have X amount of dollars to the side to achieve a dream if you come across it, achieve a goal, if you come across it for investment for yourself?
That's exactly, and that's what I tell them, and I tell them, I do offer afterpay. You know what I mean?
You're getting them all the resources.
Hey,
right?
listen. I offer afterpay. You can split up to 4 payments. So I'm like, don't let that stop your dreams. Don't let it stop your dreams because your dream might be, I'm saying, $1 million dream.
Yeah.
Especially if nobody else is, thought about this or is doing this and,
Mhm.
because I'm telling you that's the best thing. Me investing in myself is the best thing possible. Like I have, I don't just have those. I have a lot that I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Businesses, and I venture out, and I have like a lot of stuff going on right now.
And what you just said about the money, especially the Black community, they complain all the time. Well, I don't have the money for this. I treat my investment accounts like a bill. Just like I'm gonna pay my water bill every single month because I don't want it to get cut off. Well, guess what? The investments, they're also on auto pay. So they are my bill because guess what? You have to save your money now because guess what's gonna save you later? Your money.
Yeah.
And let's be real. Let's be real now, Tanya. Tax season come up. Everybody getting new living room furniture, new flat screens every time. You got the money, so it's either the money or you don't see the value.
Yes,
and that's what I believe.
And our people don't want to say they ain't got the money, so it's really the value, or they don't understand, or they've been skint, but they don't know where to, really sit down and take off. And like, no, someday and one day is not a day of the week.
Exactly. And then even when they come and they be like, okay, well, I want you to do my taxes. I'm like, okay, well, you know what? When saying we doing these taxes, you want to start this business. Hey, listen, we can work something out. Like, what I'm saying? Like, we can take your fees. I can take those fees or whatever, start this LLC out of your taxes. And then, hey, you have everything right there set up for you, because I don't just stop at helping you start. I will be there until I see that you don't need me no more. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or you making money, you like, Tanya, thank
basically.
you. And because I want everybody to succeed. Especially if I help you, and I'm gonna push you. I'm the one that's gonna call you, be like, hey, how you doing this week? What have you did to increase your business? You know what I'm saying? Are you advertising? Are you doing this? Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? I gave you, what I'm saying?
You need an accountability partner.
So like, listen, I'm that person. I'm telling you, I be calling folks all the time, every week. Hey, I'm doing check-in. What you doing? How you doing?
Sounds similar. We have several offices, people in Birmingham that you can reach out to that's involved with our same organization. And so we do the same, reach out, we call, we check on them. Accountability partners, like you said.
Yes. And people, and then when they see that, they're like, oh my goodness, she is relentless. Let me do what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
I'm like, did you call Dun Bradstreet? Did you get that solved? Did you call NAV? Did you set up your NAV? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Did you call Mr. Bennie? You know what I'm saying? Like, listen.
I've had people that you've sent to me, and after we do that, I'm like, so did Tanya tell you what I was able to help her get set up? I said, what is that worth to you? What is that worth to you? And not to tell the business, but I didn't help Latanya get over $20,000-$30,000. And folks was like, how'd you do that? I said, well, she followed the steps.
Exactly.
And it wasn't an overnight process.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen overnight. I said, but you gotta follow the process.
Yes.
And there are certain things in business credit or personal credit that can accelerate your growth. But then once you have credit and access to funding, now you need to have a plan.
Yep.
Because getting the funds is one thing. Believe it, getting the funds is harder. It's easier than the plan it is to use those funds.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that.
Because if you've never been taught about how money works, those things can become a hindrance to your growth.
We see it. We see restaurants pop up. They jump for a year. Coming in the year 2, the doors getting ready to close.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
And we out here to help, in ways to like we were saying, bridging the gap, filling the void. But I don't know. It's just like for what you do, I'm pretty sure you could help a lot of those people. Doors be closing, but have they reached out? Are they doing it? Are they following the plan of whoever they talking to, or have they put a plan in place? Most people ain't got no plan and ain't thinking about no plan. Because like you said, we slow, we hard headed, and you got ego coming in. Oh, I'm this, I'm that.
Did you say ego?
Ego. They don't know nothing. They don't know nothing because you ain't seeing the gold chains or you ain't seeing the Bentley, so you ain't thinking they know what they talking about.
Yep.
But now your doors closing and they still moving and shaking.
Exactly.
So it's like we have to let those things go and realize like people out here really out here to help you.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you know what? Sometimes that help may cost a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with paying for knowledge because we do it anyway. If you go to school, I just had this conversation with Ski on our last show. When you get educated, if you're going to high school, that costs money. Your taxes and tax
Yeah.
dollars
Yeah.
that you pay
Yeah.
provide
Yeah.
for your education.
Yeah.
College isn't free. Even if you get a scholarship, it's not free.
Still not free.
Exactly.
It was
Somebody
paid.
paid that bill.
Someone paid the
Mhm.
bill, right?
Yeah.
When you go to work, when you get a job, you have on the job training. That's paid.
Exactly.
It's paid. They're paying
Exactly.
someone to train you, or they have a system set up that was paid to try to train you.
And most of the time when you start a job, well, not even most of the time, when you start a job, you're gonna spend out before you get paid. You got gas
Yeah,
money.
money,
Sometimes
yeah.
you gotta buy special shoes or khakis or something before you go. You
Mhm.
need lunch. So you're gonna spend out before you even
You
make
receive
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
back
receive
from
back
that
from the
investment.
job.
But
Yeah.
that's what it's called, an investment.
Yeah.
I've heard people say sacrifice, and I've always said I hate the word sacrifice. And what I mean by that is this. And people hear me say it, and they say, well, I don't spend as much time with my kids in order to do this. And I'm like, so when I make a sacrifice, I'm not looking for anything in return. But if I shift my priority from, hey, Latanya, I'm not going to be able to assist you with this because I got this going on.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm going to the thing that this is going on is because I'm looking for a return for what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So now I can take that return that I'm getting, and now I can pour into Latanya or pour into you guys. But I had to go this way first. It
Mhm.
doesn't mean that I don't want to spend time with you. I don't want to do this, but I got to shift my focus. Now, if I
Right.
go over there and sacrifice and don't expect anything in return, I'm putting an investment. I'm investing my time in something in order
Yes.
to seek a return. Does that make sense to y'all?
Make plenty of money.
Absolutely.
Make plenty of
So
money.
I always try to check myself when I think of these analogies and things of that
Mhm.
nature.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I understand we have not been taught that language matters.
Yes.
You know, when you go into a job or you work in a professional atmosphere, the way you speak, and I'm not talking about your dialect. I'm not talking about
Mhm.
your, if you talk
Southern
Southern
accent.
or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever.
Mhm.
I'm talking about the words that you put in play matter because words are the initial structure.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes.
And when it comes to the financial side, there's a structure. There's a reason why you set up a business a certain way. There's a reason why that you guys do your financial planning a certain way. So those roadmaps that we create over time, where do they go after that for you guys? I mean, I know everybody walks somebody by the hand in certain things.
Mhm.
When you let go of the hand or the back of the bicycle so they can start pedaling for themselves, what is the one thing that most people want when they're starting to go down that path? Is it security? Is it a business? Is it savings? What are the things that you guys see?
For us, it's just financial security. Feeling
Mhm.
stable, and the first step to that is, like Cameron said, you have to protect your earnings. You have to put protection on that, and
Okay.
then you build towards financial stability. And when you're financially stable, now you can build towards becoming financially free. But the first step is you have to put the protection in place.
Protect what you got.
Yeah.
Yeah, protect what you got and protect what you're building.
Okay.
Mhm.
Latanya, what do you see? What when people come down the road, and I know you said it's let's not talk about the people that can't pay. Let's talk about the people that can pay.
Now, I mean, it's like I per se do not let them go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
because I'm with you. Like, I work 365. So, like, if I help you out and if I set this up for you, whatever, I'm here for you. It's like nonstop. Like, I'm
Okay.
here for you to help you out
I
through
think
your
with,
journey.
okay. With me, I don't want to say I let go of the steering wheel, but as I jokingly say, however, I try to. My whole concept is to build owners and to
Mhm.
build people that are
Mhm.
financially responsible
Yes.
and be a mentor
Yes.
through the process and even after the
After the
process. So
process.
now you have access to
Mhm.
me.
Mhm.
Not saying that the average person doesn't, but once you've invested in me or spent money in me with
Yeah.
with what I've done, then there's a deeper level of conversation that we have because you were willing to invest your money and trust in me. So now I'm going to reciprocate
Exactly.
And I don't call that gatekeeping because you're still able to have a conversation. I can give you A, B, C, and D, but when the situation becomes a little bit deeper, there's no way I'm going to go to Cam and say, hey, so I didn't do the financial plan with you guys. However, man, how do I go ahead and set up these accounts? What do I need to do? Who do I need to talk to? You're going to say, well, first we need to have a sit down.
Right.
So we
Assess
can
your needs.
assess your needs because you're asking me a question without giving me, and I can't give you the proper answer without acquiring all the information.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And
you know how much we charge for that, Bennie?
how much?
Nothing. It's complimentary what we do. It's confidential.
Man, listen, y'all, if y'all watch this, he just said
We charge nothing.
they charge nothing to get a needs analysis, financial analysis.
205-617-8754 or 256-755-5731.
Man, that's awesome. Awesome.
That is.
The only thing we ask is if once we do that analysis, you know, a good friend of mine, he said, hey, ask him, do you love your kids? Are you responsible? Can you make a common sense decision without taking all day? All right. So we do a needs analysis and we identify your needs. If it's something we need to put in place, let's go ahead and put that in place.
Yeah.
You know, so we ain't got to sit and wait all day and talk about someday and one day. No, let's do it now. And your budget, you have control of your own budget. You don't have to have no 5 bands and all this other miseducated stuff out here. Nah, you bring them hot $25 over here. Let's start you up. Let's go ahead and get you something in place to protect what you're growing, the money you're growing. Now let's save you some money in some areas like on taxes, debts, and insurances too. Even auto and home insurance. People rates going up all the time. They constantly paying. Well, here's a secret. Swap companies.
Yep.
Another company be glad to have your business out here. And they'll give you the same benefits at a better rate.
A cheaper rate.
Every 6 months, check your quotes.
Yeah.
And call us. 205-617-8754. Call Cam.
Call Cam. Call Nickiesha. Call Latanya.
Exactly.
Call all of us.
Exactly.
Y'all can hit me up. Y'all know I'm a social media junkie. If you got a question, I'm going to do the best I can. And then we're going to have a real conversation and a consultation. And after that, you got a decision to make.
You got a decision to make.
You got a decision to make.
like
And once we put those things in place and you see how wonderful it works for you and your family, we're a warm market business. So, hey, referrals are highly accepted and appreciated. So send us to your cousin. Send us to the next person that you love and care about that feel like they need to see this too.
Amen. 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 We're going to wrap up, but I want to say, do you guys have a particular thing that you really want to get out to the people? I know you got an event coming up. You want to talk about that real quick?
Oh, yeah. So we got July 21st at the Cultural Crescent Center, Bag Talk, Cash Conversations. We're going to be kind of going deep, basically on what we just talked about today, but we're going to dig in deep. We're going to be there to answer questions, get names and numbers, get some free needs analysis done for y'all so y'all can have a plan and know when and when you're going to start.
Okay, so we have event. I have an event coming up. It's at the Lecture House of Hair on the 21st of July from 1 to 5 at 228 Roebuck Plaza Drive. And it's if you are a vendor and you just need some exposure, you can hit me up at 205-895-2750. I am still accepting vendors at this point. But if you don't want to be a vendor, just come out and support all these small Black businesses in Birmingham.
That by Walmart.
Right by Walmart.
Oh, Blaze.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. By Walmart, y'all on the east side.
Yes,
On the east side.
Yeah.
On the east side. Sweet. And so my thing, y'all know tonight around 7:30, 8 o'clock, tune in. If any of my people are watching this, I will be talking about sync licensing with the music business.
Okay.
I'm going to give everybody kind of an A to Z overview of what it is, how it works, how to get started, and how to leverage the things and tools that we have now in order to get a better overview of how to insert yourself into the business, because this is all the stuff that I paid for a course for. And now that I have the education, I know how to send that to somebody.
Right.
And now people don't realize we have AI. And AI, if used correctly, you got to know what to ask AI. You got to know how to define the things that you want to get out of AI. And when you do that, all it's doing is compiling all the information that's out there and making it very accessible to you. and I'm going to tell people how to do that as well tonight. So, with that being said, I appreciate y'all so much for coming to 101.1 The Culture. Do y'all have a website, or I know you're giving your phone number? How can they find you on social media?
Oh yeah, Cam McCurdy on social media, Amplified Financial Group on Facebook, Cam McCurdy on Facebook. Call my phone and come down to the event July 21st at 6 o'clock on Monday. Meet us in person.
Yep.
Hey, let's have some cash conversations.
Cash Conversations, Bag Talk.
Okay, and I'm sorry, the event is July the 20th. It's on a Sunday from 1 to 5. And I'm here located. I have 2 locations. I'm here at the Crescent Cultural Community Center, 1121 Tuscaloosa Avenue, Southwest Birmingham, Alabama, 35211. Telephone number is 205-895-2750. Or you can come and visit me at 228 Roebuck Plaza Drive, inside of the Luxury House of Hair. So you can come and visit me either way. Thank you.
Sweet. And just hit my line. Just hit my line. You know, Bennie Hertz on social media. All y'all got to do is send me a text or a DM or anything like that. I'm going to get back with you, and we can have some of those cash conversations that can offer you some security and possibly change your life in the future. And with that, 101.1 The Culture. Tune in. Y'all see the ticker tape. For your independent artists, you guys can reach out to me to find out how to get your music on the station. We play music 24/7. I appreciate you guys so much. 101